Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive vulnerability that almost always goes completely ignored, right up until it's way too late. We're talking about solar mounting integrity. You know, when you see a sleek new solar array, it looks perfectly static, right? Just soaking up the sun. But the crazy reality is, those panels are actually locked in a constant, invisible battle with fluid dynamics and extreme weather.
So, will your solar panels survive the next big storm? It's super tempting to assume that an array feeling rock solid on a totally calm, sunny day is inherently safe. But what actually happens when that gentle breeze suddenly turns into an 80-mile-per-hour gust? Today, we're shifting our focus entirely away from electrical output, and we're drilling right down into the literal nuts and bolts, the structural physics holding the whole shebang together.
Okay, let's dive into this. We'll start with a sunny day illusion, move into the physics of wind lift, check out some common structural failures, and finally, look at engineering for survival.
Section 1. The Sunny Day Illusion. Let's talk about why standard installation guides don't always give you the full picture.
If you've ever looked up standard solar installation guides, you've probably seen countless tutorials showing basic assembly under, well, absolutely perfect conditions. But here's the thing. They almost completely ignore the harsh reality of extreme weather. The panel itself is rarely the weakest link. Manufacturers actually over-engineer those things to take a serious beating. The true structural burden, the actual weak link, falls entirely on the mounting system. We're talking the rails, the brackets, the anchors, and the fasteners. If those specific components aren't designed to safely transfer environmental loads down into the roof, honestly, the strongest panel in the world is not going to save your system.
Section 2. The physics of wind lift. Because, as it turns out, solar panels don't just sit there, they actively interact with fluid dynamics.
And what's really interesting about this slide is the airplane wing analogy. To understand why mounting systems actually fail, we have to look at those invisible forces. When wind flows beneath a solar panel, it creates this massive pressure difference between the top and the bottom of the module, so the air actually pushes up rather than down. It behaves literally exactly like an aircraft wing, creating an uplift force that actively tries to rip the panel right off its mounts. Crazy, right?
And this uplift force scales incredibly fast, which is a pretty terrifying reality. In engineering, the equation for wind pressure states that pressure is proportional to velocity squared. Practically, what does that mean for us? Well, it means if a storm turns a 40-mile-per-hour wind into an 80-mile-per-hour gust, you don't just double the pressure, you actually quadruple it. Yep, a 4x increase in force on your system. So, a relatively small jump in storm intensity creates a massive, disproportionate structural load.
It also really comes down to the sheer physical size of your array. Force equals pressure times area. As modern solar panels get larger and larger to generate more power, that increased surface area essentially acts like a giant sail catching the wind. So the bigger the panel, the exponentially harder your structural hardware has to work just to keep everything bolted to the building.
But wait, it gets even more complex. Wind doesn't just push straight up or straight down. It creates a rotational force, or torque. Think back to physics class. Torque equals force times the distance from the pivot point. When a sudden gust of wind hits a tilted solar panel unevenly, it's trying to violently twist those rails and rip the anchors right out of the roof. It's literally like someone taking a massive crowbar to your mounting hardware.
Section 3. Common structural failures. Let's look at exactly where and why these intense forces cause catastrophic physical breakdowns.
And this brilliantly illustrates the danger zones. You might logically think the center of the roof experiences the exact same wind as the edge, but fluid dynamics says no way. As wind flows around a building, it actually accelerates rapidly near the perimeter. The roof corners experience the absolute highest uplift exposure, followed really closely by the edges. Wind completely ignores those imaginary safe setback distances. If you place panels too close to these perimeters without beefing up the attachment density, it's a total recipe for disaster.
A huge failure point often just comes down to the hardware itself. Substituting manufacturer-approved structural hardware, like heavy-duty lag bolts, for basic wood screws or low-grade steel is a really dangerous, yet surprisingly common DIY mistake. I mean, if you reduce the load capacity of the fastener just to save a few bucks at the hardware store, it instantly becomes the primary reason your panels might detach during a severe storm.
Beyond just the size and type of the screws, there's a silent killer creeping in: galvanic corrosion. Outdoor solar systems face years of rain, humidity, and crazy temperature shifts. If you mix incompatible metals in your hardware, they undergo this chemical reaction that literally eats away at the structural integrity of your system over time. So a bolt that felt perfectly strong on day one, it might just snap under a moderate wind load 5 years later because corrosion has been silently destroying its strength.
When it comes to the rails and clamps, a really frequent error is spacing roof attachments way too far apart. Doing that creates an excessive rail span, which inevitably leads to flexing. When the rail flexes under a heavy wind load, it pulls incredibly hard on the mid and end clamps. If those aren't torqued perfectly, the entire system kind of loosens up, creating these tiny micro movements that slowly and methodically back the bolts right out of your roof.
So the crucial point is that wind is dynamic. It's not just a constant, steady pressure. Gusts create rapid loading changes, intense vibration, and oscillation. A mounting system absolutely has to be engineered to survive cyclic fatigue. We're talking about surviving thousands of load cycles over a 25-year lifespan, not just holding on for one single peak gust. If your system allows for those micro movements we just talked about, that constant, relentless vibration will eventually cause a fatigue failure.
We have to be absolutely clear about the stakes here. A detached solar panel doesn't just stop generating electricity. It becomes a 50-pound piece of airborne debris. It's basically a massive, razor-edged frisbee that can crush vehicles, penetrate roofing materials, and cause severe, life-threatening injuries or massive electrical hazards. Structural mounting is fundamentally a life safety issue, folks. It is not merely an installation detail.
Section 4, Engineering for Survival. Let's shift gears from the terrifying problems and look at the actionable engineering solutions.
Let's move to and see how this builds our solution. The absolute magic phrase in structural engineering is load sharing. By increasing the number of attachment points, beefing up your rail strength, and using a larger fastener diameter, you distribute that intense wind load across a much wider area. Increasing that hardware strength means less stress on individual components. So if a sudden gust tries to rip up a corner, load sharing ensures a dozen different anchors are fighting back together, rather than just relying on one lonely bolt.
Now, even the best engineered systems need some TLC, especially after extreme weather. You should always run a quick visual inspection. First, check for any loose hardware. Second, look for bent brackets or slightly misaligned panels. Third, carefully inspect the roof flashing around the anchors for any compromised seals. And finally, check the cables for stress, because mechanical movement often pulls on the wiring, creating hidden electrical risks. Catching this fatigue early is exactly how you stop disasters before they happen.
Ultimately, here's the big takeaway. A solar array is a structural system, not just an electrical one. You can go out and buy the most efficient, top-tier electrical components in the entire world, but they absolutely cannot compensate for poor physical mounting. Long-term success requires equal respect for the physics of the structure and the flow of the electricity.
Which leaves us with this final, vital question. Is your solar array engineered to survive, or was it just assembled to look good? Next time you look up at a roof or plan an installation, I want you to see beyond the shiny glass. Think about the invisible forces, the uplift, the torque, and the rigorous engineering required to hold it all together safely. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions, definitely go double-check your hardware, and keep learning. See you next time.